Hi, I'm Jess Book, head swimming coach at Kenyon College. This is my 15th year in this position. I also had 4 years here as an assistant and 4 years here as a student. But happy to be at Kenyon, happy to kick off the 2024-2025 competitive season. Thinking about the past and talking about the past is always a complicated thing. We want to be a team that honors what we've done. We want to be a team that recognizes the success that we've had, but we don't want to live in that past success. And so we don't talk a lot about it. We don't spend a lot of time thinking about the team we were last year. We try to learn from it. We try to build on it. But every team is different. Every season is different. Every group of individuals is different. And so this team is going to be defined very differently than last year. And we don't really know where we fit in the national picture yet. It's too early to say. We have a strong team. It will be exciting to see them come together as well. But in terms of what our top competitors have as incoming freshmen, I'm not sure. In terms of what it looks like for top times across the nation, we haven't started competing yet. So there's a lot to learn, but we've got a great core group of individuals here that are ready to compete. We've got a really great freshman class that can come in and contribute, so we should be competitive. The fun part is we don't know what competitive means yet. I'm curious to see how this team develops. We do have a large number of returners that were competing last year at the NCAA Championships, but with the graduation of last year's class, we need to step into new roles in terms of where we swim on relays, new roles in terms of leadership, new roles in terms of where we are strong and where we have places to get better. So it will be interesting to see how this comes together. I think where our strengths are going to be similar and yet different from where they were last year. Similar in the sense that we should have some strengths in some of the endurance-based events, some of the sprint-based events. Breaststroke will be a strength for us this coming year as well, but it will always be different. And I think that's the beauty of sport and the beauty of any sport, not just swimming, is every year is different. And so even if we did one thing last year with one group of people, it's definitely going to be different this year. And I look forward to seeing what that looks like. And that's something that we'll spend months working on and months preparing for. But we do have a great core group of women to build around to see what we can do this year. Yeah, we got a really nice incoming freshman class. We have 7 swimmers, 2 divers, which is, again, exactly what we were looking for with this class. Super diverse class, people from all over the country, some international swimmers who are joining us as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is a really dynamic class in terms of their potential. We've got good distribution in terms of our event spread in this class as well. And so just getting started, just seeing the team start to come together in training right now. I see some real bright spots here. I see some people who are very eager to get better. I see some people who I think can make a big impact. I see some people who are going to get better, get a lot better over the course of the season. And so I do expect this class to be a class that can contribute to us in a performance capacity. I think freshmen, a lot of what they do is figure out where they are. And so that's part of what this group is doing right now. And I think this group will also play a culture role and a out-of-the-water impact role as we get moving. But right now, it's more about figuring out where they are, how the system works, how they can contribute, how they can balance all the things that go into being a student athlete at Kenyon. But I think they're on the right path. We've got a great staff. I'm very happy with the staff we have here. We have 3 swimming coaches, a diving coach, all of whom have coached at the highest level, Division I level, and been very successful where they've been. So I'm very confident in who we are. We've got people that are very passionate, people that are very athlete-driven, people who are very much teachers as well as coaches, and I love seeing them do what they do out on the pool deck. It also gives us as a staff the freedom to be even more specific and even more thoughtful and even more intentional in the work that we do in the water. When we have such high capability people, we can trust them to do some things that are a little bit more nuanced and a little bit more different. And it's been great to learn alongside them as well. I always love learning with the coaches that we have on staff here. Our new coach is Jason Glorious, new diving coach. He's done a fantastic job. Exciting to see him start to develop his program and what his diving group will look like as part of our team, but I feel good about that one as well. The season is just getting started. So our season is a long one. We start competing here in October. We finish competing at the end of March with the NCAA Championships, and there are different phases to how we go through things. This phase is mostly about getting back into rhythms, getting back into competitive mindsets, getting back into the habits it takes to be champions. And so we get started this weekend with our relay meet that kicks off the season for us. The fall is a little bit more short and fast. We'll compete in a few dual meets. We'll have a meet that we host here right before Thanksgiving called the Total Performance Invite. that's a big competitive meet. I think we have 7 teams coming this year, 6 or 7 teams, a mixture of Division II, Division III teams, teams that will have representation at the national championships as well. So it's a nice competitive meet. It's also a really nice time for us to compete against some people we don't see very often, which I like quite a bit as well. But that meet is much a barometer as anything else. It's just taking the temperature on where we are. It doesn't predict anything. It just shows us how our team is starting to come together and where our areas of strength might be, but also some areas we need to continue to develop. And so first semester is really laying the groundwork. It's doing the work in the water, doing the work in the classroom, doing the work out of the water to be ready to do the things we need to do second semester. So we build up through our first semester meet before Thanksgiving. We have the week of Thanksgiving off. The week after Thanksgiving, we are tentatively going to go to the U.S. Open in Greensboro. It's a meet that is hosted by USA Swimming. And so it's going to take qualification standards that are higher level USA Swimming standards, but we have several athletes that have those standards, and we are at least tentatively planning on going to that meet. So we'll take a group to the US Open, and then mid-year after the winter holidays, we meet down in Florida for a winter training camp. I pause on that because that's totally up in the air, to be totally honest with you. With Hurricane Helene and Milton going through the area, we're a little bit unsure what that looks like this year, but we will have a training camp in some capacity mid-year, hopefully in Florida. If not, we'll look for another space, and that's another place for us to kind of reset our season, reset our focus for the end. And from there, we punch back into dual meets. We'll compete against Miami of Ohio during that time, which will be a lot of fun, a competitive meet for us. Then we'll go to the conference championships in February, which is a 3+ day meet, super competitive, very fast, very fun. The whole team's there competing at the highest level. It'll come down to just a few points out of thousands of points over 3+ days, so very exciting. And from there, we turn our attention towards the NCAA championships. We have one meet between the conference championships and NCAAs. That is what we call our last chance or fast chance meet. It's a chance for people to continue to improve upon times and give themselves an even better opportunity to qualify for NCAAs. But then the focal meet at the very end is the NCAA championships. The third week of March, I don't have the exact dates in my head this year. They're in Greensboro, North Carolina again this year. And we'll be there. We'll be competing, as we talked about earlier. I can't yet predict what our finishing place will be, but I can say that we're going to be excited to compete and represent Kenyon once we get there.